Hello, Vicky, Crystalline, and Miss Edward. Miss Edward, wow. Mr. Edward, wow. Wow, I really feel like you're like that balance of the male and the masculine. Wow. Masculine and the feminine energy. Wow.
Vicky, I've got these medicine cards, the animal medicine cards. I feel like it might be quite a nice way to start if I pull one of these.
Yes, please.
Wow. I came across these ones from a friend of mine in Colombia, and we had last year, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they really struck a note then, and I feel like don't pull them very often, but I'll pull one. I think just one for both.
Yes.
I feel like exactly the right one is going to pop out. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's one of the blank ones. That's interesting. Got a few of these.
Wow.
I think that was meant to be the first one, but I'm going to pull one that's not blank.
Wow.
I think that for me, that very much feels like that's kind of where we are, though. It's like we've kind of got this new slate now.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I felt.
Let's see what first up on the new slate. Oh wow! And another one. What are the chances of that?
Wow.
I think there are only 3 blank ones in here.
Wow, I get chills, and I'm seeing purple everywhere. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
I love these cards. Look at that. What are the chances of that?
Oh my God. I got chills like in my core.
3 blank cards. There are only 3 blank cards in there, and I think they're 52
And you know
cards.
what? That's one of the laws, man. Purple is like everywhere. I can see purple everywhere. Wow, I got chills.
And the bottom one, I often pick 3 cards, and then I look at the bottom one, and the bottom one is a blue heron. Heron has always been very like, I love the heron. Because there's a pond opposite the house here, and they always had a little heron when I was a little boy, and I might just read it actually if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
The blue heron 217. So I get so much wisdom from the heron, I can just feel it.
Wow.
Blue heron. Thank you, sacred water bird, for sending reflections to me, the mirrors of the quest for life, the worlds that live inside of me. Show me how relationships work with my path woven within the whole, the lessons of kinship with life, reflecting my spirit's eternal gold. I've had a lot of mirrored reflections recently, and some of them like haven't really resonated with. They definitely were reflections, but it's definitely parts of myself that I wanted to let go of, and definitely in the last few days. And it's kind of been tough sometimes because it's like they're like friends, but I was like, oh no, I don't really want to be around the energy anymore. It's like, yeah. And so he goes here. Heron medicine is the power of knowing the self by discovering its gifts and facing its challenges. It is the ability to accept all feelings and opinions without denying any emotional thought. Heron flies over those who are unaware of who they are and where they belong in the world. Gently dropping a blue feather to them, Heron asks that they follow their intuition and begin their empowering journey of self-realization. If the great blue heron has flown into your card today, it is an urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings to seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills so that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. Looking at yourself through the filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity, you will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. Heron asks that you examine yourself with a cold eye to see what you wish to improve, how you want to change. If you get stuck in the process, it may be a sign that you are being too hard or critical. Choosing to blame others or constantly pointing a finger at life situations instead of claiming responsibility for your actions shows that you lack the courage to face the enemy within. Heron medicine people are willing to look at themselves and see the truth of their motives, actions, feelings, dreamings, goals, inner strength and inner weakness. In balancing those truths, Heron medicine shows how to meet the challenges of your personal weaknesses and how to continue developing the skills that lead to inner strength and certainty of purpose. Are you willing to dive into the watery depths of your own feelings and discover the role of your spiritual essence? Heron is now calling you to delve deeper, to know yourself and to trust your path. Like the phoenix who rises from its own ashes, Heron emerges from the unseen world of spirit into a new balanced sense of self in order to embrace its potential again and again. The magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery. If you are courageous enough to follow the waterbird throughout the journey, Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new life on the medicine wheel. Yeah, that hit a note with me.
Me too. Wow.
I really realized that I often have the message, but it can always be communicated more gracefully. There have been a few situations where I was like, I know that I was on the right path and I was speaking my truth, but I could have spoken it more gracefully and been more sensitive to the people I was speaking it to. And that's been a message, I think, throughout my life. But I definitely feel like I'm starting to get it now. And also knowing when, just to honor your own reflection.
That's so amazing, because you know what? I did a video and then I started judging it yesterday. And then, that's so amazing that you're talking about that. And that's just our own stuff, you know? And so when we're in that, we're just letting it go, because we kind of judged that. And it didn't feel heavy. It just felt like it was nagging at me.
Yeah, it's been a lesson the last few months, like the difference between judgment and discernment.
Yes.
You can be aware that someone or some part of your life needs to go, or you need to have a space from it, without judging what that person is doing or something. You're more discerning. They're actually showing you a little part of yourself that you want to let go of, and by letting go of them, you let go of that part of yourself. Yeah, and it's exactly like it says there, honor all your reflections. And actually those are the greatest teachers, those ones who show you how you don't want to be.
Absolutely. Because they're a blessing. And that's the thing that is, for my experience, is that as I keep coming to realization of that, the blessings become more powerful, the gratitude becomes more expanded in my body. I can feel it. It's like you tap into it, and you know how you'd feel gratitude a little bit? No, it's like big in my body, the gratitude of each piece coming together. And I'm so thankful for. I never seen my journey going any this way. I just allowed, and it just keeps showing up for all of us. And it's so amazing, because of we truly are in a new beginning, like Edward was saying this morning about energies that he's feeling. And I would really love for you to describe what you were feeling, because I've been feeling that for like the last 3 or 4 days, more and more powerful, and they literally stop you in your tracks.
Yeah. So I guess what I was saying just before we started recording was, I felt like the energies today, they almost it's similar to what I felt in my own personal shifts, but it feels like it's happening much more on a collective scale. And that makes it feel more sober almost, because it's not like you're the one who's changing really rapidly. It's like actually your whole environment, all the people around you, you're also starting to feel the changes. So it's kind of, I guess it's a little bit more like when you're driving down the motorway and you're driving next to another car, and you're both going like 70 miles an hour, but they're also going 70 miles an hour. So it kind of looks, you can see the person in the window, whereas in the window in the car next door. Whereas if you were, driving 70 miles an hour and that car was stood still, you would never see anything through that window. So that's the kind of analogy I'd give where we are now. We're all moving really fast, but there's a kind of much more of a collective movement. We've kind of tuned. I'd also kind of say the orchestra analogy. It's like we've all kind of tuned our bodies, our instruments now, before before they start playing, and now the conductor started playing, and we're kind of playing a lot more together on a much grander scale.
Man, I
And
love
that's really beautiful. But I feel there's still a little bit of tuning going together. Maybe it's still a, you
we're
know,
still going forward. We're still going
yeah,
forward.
the music's written, but it's maybe the first time we've all played together in a while, so we're still kind of getting used to it all a bit, and there's definitely some tinkering still to go on.
Absolutely. I love how you express your words, completely how you express your words. And that's what we're going through. So when you're stopping in these energy moments, it's like, hold on, breathe, proud, and just let it happen to you. And it's so, like out of this world. There's nothing, no, some of these energies that are going through you can't even explain them. They're just, out of this world. And I just feel so honored to be a part of all this process. Completely honored. So, Edward,
I think I'm a lot connected to the crystals as well, like almost still connected to the plants, but much more to like the crystalline energy. It's almost like we're kind of not relying on the plants so much anymore, and it's like they fed us for so long, but now we're like, I guess like, kind of similar to like a baby that's weaning itself, or a calf weaning of itself of its like of the the breast milk or something. It's like we're definitely reaching a coming of age, I think, as a species.
absolutely. I want to share this stone. I shared it earlier, but this stone literally came to me this morning on the ground. It's
Yeah, that's
flat.
beautiful.
Never have seen it before. It was right by where my chickens, the baby chickens' pen is.
It's
And
so polished as well.
it's so
It's
what?
it's so polished.
Yeah, like I'm blown away. And I've been wearing with it, and it literally, I can feel it's doing something to my energetic field. I just feel more of everything.
And
So
as you said, it must have. I mean, I've been to your place before, and it's like you've been around that garden quite a few times, I could guess. And if it was there before, you would have seen it.
and it wasn't dirty. My
Uh,
yard is red dirt, so, and it wasn't dirty. How it came out just like that. And I'm just like blown away.
it's almost like an eye in the center.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's the only dirty little spot in it, is that little eye. And to me, as soon as I seen it, it's like, oh my God, it's a little fish.
Yes, yes.
That's what and I was like, wow. And yeah, so everything is surfacing, you know, and that's the amazing thing, is that it really truly is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I had the same kind of feeling today. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if something just like manifested in front of me,
yeah,
Um,
wow, I
even
got
before
chills.
that, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like things started appearing out of thin air, precipitation, I guess they call it. Like that was the kind of
Wow,
what they were all searching for in like the Age of Enlightenment in Europe, when like Da Vinci and all these great like scientists or philosophers at the time were trying to search for the philosopher's stone. I get that kind of feeling like, oh, we're not searching anymore, but it's kind of here.
yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah,
how I felt. That's how I felt, because I just feel all this things just coming to me. I just feel it's not like a pulling sensation, but it's like a flowing sensation. So you can feel this energy coming in and out. So in that energy, I could just feel everything coming to me. It just, and it's just part of me more and more as I, allow myself to be that. And so it's just coming into the physical, all of it. So, uh, wow, I feel Astron here, like, she always makes such a presence in my body, truly such a presence. And so I'm just going to allow this to happen. Is that all right?
absolutely.
Absolutely. So, piene toete. Aetaino te taitoetene etaetaine aetoine etaino etatataine. Asole tene ketene etaine etaine. Breathe now, beloveds. I, Astron, have walked forward as the beloved channel has stepped aside. You are feeling this. Drop into your energetic field. Breathe now. One more time. It is easy for you to tap in when you are doing it collectively through the breath. The beings before you are already in tune, but those that are coming forward later, this will drop you in. The cards show the placement of where you are at right now in this time state. A new start, a new beginning. Here on you go. You are feeling that for all. And you have talked about it, how things are shifting from the plant world to the other minerals that are taking place here and now. And you will shift in and out of the placements of them. As new life in plant forms come forward, you will feel more residence there. And new stems that are surfacing that have been here for eons, but there is a newness to them. And they are resonating with you, and then they will surface beneath you, in front of you, just as Mr. Edward had brought forward. There is the highest potential to completely manifest something right in front of you. All of it. In a way, it is already happening. You are feeling the energy stop you. That is happening right before you. In a way, if you focus on the before it happens, you will see it happening. You will see the shift take place in your exterior world, and then you will feel it. The earth is being surrounded with the light of the blue flame and the radiance of the rainbow. The blue flame and the violet flame are very transforming, so they are heightening in their experience as more beings are tuning into themselves and releasing themselves of their cages. As more and more light beings are participating in their own life, in their own light. This is happening every second, every eon, and it is changing for all. We are feeling questions from you, beloved, and we would like to join here now for they will bring forward in a stopping point from this point forward. Do you have questions, beloved?
Yeah, I guess I have some questions about you, not Vicky, but about the energy that's coming through Vicky, and how and the distinctions between them. Like, I know Vicky talks a lot about Airion and Mother Gaia, and the name has just slipped my mind of what she calls you. But I'm curious about the different qualities that different channeled spirits bring at this time on the earth.
This is a perfect question. This beloved being is, in actuality, bringing forth the mother and the father. She has set forward names to make them more real in her present state.
Yeah,
but it is not of names.
Yeah.
And she is losing those names in a way. This one Astron that you are stumbling over, it is perfect. She has set it forward for her to believe it, we will say. Many beings do this, for without names, they do not realize that they are real. So she is moving out of this. It is harder for her when she tries to speak these names. She is a collective of 12 plus 13 for 1. So the beings that are resonating with her now have literally shifted what she carried before and what she is carrying just the last moments of her life. She is connecting more to her mastery self, which is happening for all. You're shifting from a collective that you carried in one paradigm into another paradigm. It will shift, and then new beings will surface that will help assist you as part of you. There are beings in her collective that are from the ancient. They are all from a higher universe than this universe that is here before you. It is in a universe beyond here. Just as you are, Edward, your radiance, that's why you are so connected. Your radiance starts way beyond these paradigms that are here now. And as you are shifting into the new paradigm of the new Gaia that has been presented before you and you are tapping into it, you are connecting into your highest potential of collective around you. Some beings do not realize that their collective changes as they are on their walk. Many collectives and many channels stick with one, not realizing that they are collectively shifting into a new beingness, but they will hold the same name. And this is all right.
Thank you.
This is a perfect question.
I had another question that kind of popped in.
Please.
Obviously, I feel like at a core level, there is just this net of being connects everything, and there is just one being. But on the plane that the body that Vicky has and that I have at the moment, that the soul is coming through. Could you share a little bit about the distinction between the masculine body and the feminine body, and what the roles are at this time?
This is a perfect question also. And we will break up this question a little bit. In all, there is only one being that is carrying the energy of the masculine and feminine, that you have called it that. In the residence of the purity, there is just both sides of itself, both sides of me. One moves through an emotion, one moves through static. But it is a merging of just one individual. You were saying this as one individual, as a human. No, this is not correct. It is one source of all source. As you are connecting into your life frames, you have been in the male and the feminine energy in many lifetimes. You have played both parts. You are both parts of the whole, and that's where you are residing back to, that that wholeness that you held in the beginning as part of me. You are merging into the wholeness where there is not leadership of either. There is only balance.
Yeah.
And we would say, you will not use these words, feminine and masculine. They will kind of dissipate in a way, and you are just merging into yourself, all beingness. Did we answer your questions?
Yeah. Thank you.
In the emergence of Source itself, it is growing and expanding always. Many beings have that they are not a part of something, and they are. They're a part of the whole. It is them tapping back into that whole of them. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I think I have a final question. It's about where the beautiful being that we live on in these bodies, which now I feel there's been a big collective shift there, and a lot of more people now acknowledge that Gaia, or like Pachamama, or is a being in itself within the subset of the oneness of Source, and it's she is traveling around the sun, and then the sun is traveling around the universe, I guess, around our universe, through the galaxy. And I was wondering if you could share something a little bit about where we are, what point it feels like we're coming up to a big point in that journey, like we're almost like a boat coming to a different type of water, like we have the Atlantic Ocean or the Indian Ocean, and then they meet at the bottom of Africa. It feels to me like we're kind of going through a part of space like that, and I felt called to ask her if you could share a little bit about that, if that made sense.
Your position around the sun is moving into another position. And another sun is bringing itself forward. It is not so much that your world is traveling around the sun as the sun is traveling around your world.
Wow.
You are connecting into the frequency of the shift, because everything is shifting. The radiation is helping also. That is taking place here. It is not what you think this radiation is. It is of a purity to help the expansion that is surfacing from the interbeingness, but it is also coming from the solar system, from your sun. This is shifting, just not here on this earth plane, but your universe is shifting. Things are going to become more apparent of what is really happening. We are asking, is there another question within that?
Yes. And let me just get it. It's still about the role of the earth within the universe, I guess, because that I feel like when you said there that the sun is moving around the earth, and the earth, I've always got this, or recently in the last few years, this feeling that the earth is like a library of lots of life from around the universe or the galaxy.
The whole universe, and the universe is past this universe even.
It's past this, and there are there other libraries like the Earth in the galaxy and in the universe?
There are other timelines, and we would say other dimensions that it is happening. It's also happening with worlds around you that you cannot see with your technology yet. This is just not a singular event that is happening here on this earth plane. What you call the Mother Gaia, she is a collective also, and she is having an experience on each one of these representatives of her. So in a way, she is having an experience in all different ways of how it's coming together.
And if I've kind of felt into this before, it's like, well, the sun, you take the perspective of the sun, it can't see any shadow. And I feel like it's almost the Earth is kind of turning into more of a sun-like being, and the inhabitants of the Earth are turning into more like these light beings. So the shadow is disappearing. Is that correct?
This is absolute.
Yeah.
This is absolute. And there are states of paradigms of what you would call other worlds that are right now going through the hardest shadow state of itself. And it is all, how can we say this so that it is like, to put this more where everyone would understand, and this beloved channel has said it before, there is a shifting of all souls. The shifting is not just, it's in everywhere, even source. So everything is emerging into itself, into a greater being of itself. Yeah.
And then I have a more personal question I feel like you could help me with. My sister gave me a bonsai tree, like this little tree. It's like a miniature tree, and it's losing its leaves. And I was wondering if you had any advice for how I can help it like rejuvenate itself. Is it like too hot or too cold? Or, I feel like I'm doing something wrong with my tree.
Yeah. Taking a more pointed view of your life and this tree. Your tree has bonded with you. That's why it was brought forward to you. And it is in a way going through a death for you.
Okay.
We would say, more water and less water.
More water and less water. Okay.
You will know how the plant reacts to itself.
It would like a little bit of water more regularly.
You're getting it.
Yeah.
It's also good for you to merge with this plant. It will talk to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for bringing that forward.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating in the light that is shifting here in the conscious level now for all.
Thank you.
And we are with you all.
How do you see this from your side, from your perspective? How does it look?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It looks better than we even expected. There have been some points that we have had to come in and shift and change to move it a different way. And we feel this might have to happen here for some. But in the whole aspect of how this is happening, it is happening in perfect.
Is it a little bit like, say, people in this world would play like computer games or something like that? Is it kind of more of that perspective, like having the whole overview? I'm so curious.
Even us on the other side do not know how the shift is going to take place. We
Yeah,
have perfect examples of things that we align to because we can see the picture more clearly, so we can see higher potentials of where it can take itself. And it is doing that. It is how the collective comes together. But there are many who are ready to come together.
yeah.
You have nothing to fear here.
No.
But we would not want to also blow the big surprise.
Yeah.
Because there is a big surprise that is happening within your world right now.
I feel that.
And it is anchoring itself here for all to tap into it.
Yeah. Feels like everyone's been kind of working on their own little area and it's about to come together, like the puzzle's about to come together.
It is. It's like a billion puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
And
And no one knows what the picture's gonna be yet.
Not even source.
Mm.
Not even source, for there is no direction. It is to come together as naturally as it is been portrayed as you have walked. So it will all naturally come back together perfectly. You are feeling this in your root chakra.
I feel I guess it's like having a baby or something, you know.
Yes.
You can see like, oh, from the parents what you can guess what it might look like, but until it comes out, you never really know.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it will look different to everyone. You can all go to the same exact place and it will look different to everyone. New Gaia that is being transformed here, everybody will be as they are. They will not all look so much the same. You will allow yourself in your beingness to be present. So you will not hide yourself, what we would say, in the mask of all trying to be the same.
Yes. That's music to my heart.
Absolutely. And be very aware, we are bringing this forward right now. Your technology is going to have a lot of glitches in it for a while. Because the technology is attuning to a new energy that is here.
Yeah. Feel that it's becoming more conscious.
More conscious.
Yeah.
What you held in your hand will be non-existent one day. And you will think about somebody and you will be with that being as they bring themselves forward to you. Or you to them.
And what about the animals?
The animals are already doing it. The animals of there are animals just as there are humans and species that are holding the 3D and the rainbow bridge together. So they're still holding the emergence of the 3D, but they, on another conscious level, are already in a physical form on New Gaia, but they do not hold the same form.
Don't ruin all the surprise.
Right? Right? This is for all. You all want to know, and then you want to know, and then we tell you, and you're like, oh, I do not want to know. And even in that, what we bring forward today, it will shift and change because it is the way energy moves.
Yeah.
So we are very excited for what you are bringing forward and how this is moving along for all. And there's much celebration that should be brought forward for all that are taking participation in the light. That's where we feel that and see that you are holding yourself so much. You are just, I gotta do it this way, I gotta do it this way. Just let go, breathe, and then feel the excitement. It is merging within you. All of it. We're with you always. I do. Wow, my hands feel so cold, like ice, like up to my elbows. Wow. Wow.
That was amazing.
Wow. I gotta watch this. I'll get bits and pieces, but I gotta watch this.
Yeah. I asked quite a lot of questions, so I felt like a lot of people would be curious about them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Thank you, Edward, for this. Thank you for, stepping out of your comfort zone and bringing forward all this beautiful energy that you bring forward. Thank you. Thank you.
The beautiful thing about getting out of your comfort zone is you don't need to have to get out of it for that long, and then it just becomes a bigger comfort.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I just love you. And thank you for everyone who's tuning in right now. And I just love you, Edward, and everybody that, just how you're doing it. I'm just so proud. I just feel so proud of everybody right now. Truly, truly. So I send love to all of you. Is there anything else you want to say real fast, Edward?
No, I feel like that covered most of it. Yeah, thank you very much, Vicky, for all your time and your attention and everything you're doing. It's really beautiful.
Thank you, Edward. Thank you. I send so much love. May you be blessed.